Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And it is actually the morning right before this goes live. My video recorded without audio, so we're doing it again as fast as we can before work. We've got 3 great decks, we've got weekend mission decks, and so much more. Before we get started, please sub and comment. We are giving away 15 season passes. You can get one just by subbing, commenting. You'll be entered to win a Black Swan season pass. You can also check Twitter for the chance to win 5 more, and then we're going to give away 5 more next week, and when we hit 9,000 subs, which seems like it's pretty soon, another 5 more. Sub, comment, don't miss out. In addition, we've got a league. This is a month-long league where you'd be expected to play for $1, 1 game a week. The winner of the pod, you'll be in a pod of about 32. The winner of each pod will go on to a winner's cut. The winner of the pod wins a season pass, then they go on to the winner's cut, where they're in single elimination as a bracket. We've got over 50 wonderful creators playing. I'm going to announce the New York 4. We got Super Tech God, Sino, Top 5, Doug Pye, and Perry Manilow joining us. You can join. This is open to everyone. All you have to do is check out the Patreon. It's only $1. We're only using that money for overhead. Everything is going back into the tournament. More info in the coming days, but check on patreon.com/snapjudgments to be sure you don't miss out so you can get in this tournament. Hit that sub button. We offer you so much. 6 videos a week on this channel, 1 on the Marvel Snap Zone YouTube, 3 decks every single weekday, and then special bundle coverage, weekend mission decks, everything you need, one-stop shopping for Marvel Snap, and we bring you the best decks before anyone else gets to them. We're going to skip the deck credits. We're going to skip the reminders, because again, early morning before work, making sure my audio still works as we go so that I don't have the same problem I did earlier. We're still good to go. So Dresden notes, I said that SD would regret the Shang and Luke Cage change, and asked how I feel about that now. They obviously regretted the Luke change because they put him back. I'm going to go a step further. I think this was originally the plan, much like they knew they were going to have to do something with Mobius. They nerfed Luke and Elsa because they probably thought the nerf should be that these cards would end up being 3 cost. But they nerfed them harder than that because either one with the original Blob would be broken. Blob is gone. They can now revert these cards and everything is fine. I think the game has been a little funky with Shang hitting 10. They're still, like, as Heimdall evinces, they're still putting cards back up to that power threshold in order to balance them, and it's been a long-term process, and I think that, like, Shang being such a central part of the game has led to it taking longer for them to get the fix right. Suicide Squatty asks if I really think they don't fix matchmaking. I think they don't fix matchmaking. I don't think it benefits them. If they're fixing matchmaking, someone else is benefiting. Why do they care if someone else benefits over you? It makes no sense. It does nothing. There's just thousands of games, and every so often you're going to hit those streaks of variance. Your brain, everyone's brain, is primed to see patterns where they don't exist, so we just sort of invent them. I had a longer answer for this, but that will do for now. No, I can all but promise you there is no matchmaking, because there is no financial incentive. There's no upside for Second Dinner to doing so. They don't care if you, Suicide Squatty, versus me, Snap Judgments Pod, wins the game. It doesn't make them any more or less money. Dresden has 2 questions. I've had like 7 questions, but I really like Dresden's questions today. Asked if I would have bought the Juggernaut bundle if it had been data mined accurately or advertised, and the answer is honestly yes. I'm spending a fair amount of money trying to get this tournament up and running, so my finances are strapped. I didn't budget an extra $75 for one of the best financial bundles they've ever given us, and so I didn't buy it. I'm not sure if that's outweighed by people doing the FOMO buys, but here we are. If you'd like your questions read out in tomorrow's video, please leave one in the comments. Priority answers, as always, come for Patreons. But hey, we love questions, and we get to all of them sooner or later. All right, our first deck is Sera Control. This deck, you might notice, is from yesterday's video. Sorry about Ghost. It takes, again, seriously, a little while for the deck builder to catch up to the OTA. But Ghost as a 3/5 and Sera was my immediate thought, because what we always wanted her used to be was to be a way to Shang and Enchantress without priority, to guarantee not priority. But her 1/2, she just wasn't good enough at that. Well, as a 3/5, she probably is, so I built this deck. A day later, Lambie ends up 2 cards different. He actually ended up almost exactly the same. I should have had Jeff, not Lizard. I just pulled, when I did this, from the Revis deck, and Revis ran Lizard, not Jeff. So, whatever. Lambie's original other change was not running Mobius, and instead running Ghost in that spot and then keeping Legion. After testing, Mobius was too important for things like mirror matches, for things like Zabu, for things like Death. So Mobius had to come in, and Legion, sad, and had to go. Cool. This deck is wildly good. You build a bunch of tempo, and Ghost means that as you're building this tempo, as you're claiming priority, you don't have to worry. If they spend their Enchantress or whatever on on Ghost, like they're not spending it on Ms. Marvel, right? You're not terribly upset at that. It's not ideal, but you're not terribly upset at that. You're keeping your Zabu, you're keeping your Ms. Marvel. And then while you have all this power on the board, you can wipe their power out at the end of the game if you can read them with Shang-Chi, Shadow King, and Enchantress, and you can guarantee your Killmonger. I sent this to someone on my Discord, actually sent mine to someone on my Discord, and they were rolling with it. They were beating things that were trying to do bouncy stuff because, like, you just always had the advantage. I bet you this kind of package also works if you insert the Annihilus package as a way to make sure that your stuff gets sent over last or gets destroyed before anything bad happens to it. All right. Replacement cards, Gladiator or Mobius can be Polaris, or you can just go back to Legion. I'm going to tell you honestly, I like Legion a little better than Gladiator here. Lambie likes Gladiator, but he's a big Gladiator fan. He just does the Gladiator misses. You either Shang it or run. I hate like requiring my Shang to go in a specific place like that. And I think Legion steals cubes. So here we go. Jeff can be Lizard or Medusa, but Jeff is the right card, and Ms. Marvel is needed because she's sort of how the deck gets power. Okay, so Lambie got this idea from a player named Mickey Who. Again, I had it in a video yesterday, literally the second that patch dropped. All right, turn 1, pass. Turn 2, Zabu over Jeff over Maximus, and you Maximus early depending on matchup. Is it a deck that's trying to see a combo? If so, Maximus is really bad. If the deck is something that you can outpower, you want it to put power on the board so you can get rid of it, then Maximus is fine. Turn 3, Ghost is more or less equal to Gladiator or Killmonger, depends what you're playing. Killmonger early against like Thanos. Gladiator is usually safe. Ghost or Mobius early. Ghost early if you think that if they dropped a Zabu, Mobius is not your priority. If Ghost is perfectly fine here, but you can also just play Ghost on 4. You would usually like to Ms. Marvel on 4 unless you already have Zabu. If you already have Zabu you're going to get Sera, then you're hoping to go like Shang, Enchantress, Ms. Marvel last turn. And that's just a lot of power on the board. You can just play another 3 at this point, totally fine because you have so many 3s to play. Turn 5, Sera or Zabu plus a 3, or if you have Legion, Legion scan. And turn 5, is all about getting set up for turn 6. That's why you want one of the cost reduction cards, because turn 6 is ultimately all about explosion, right? Like it's about, instead of exploding with power on your side, you're exploding their power off the board. You're blowing it up, you're Enchantress, and you're sucking it away with Shadow King. All of those things are how you win the game of Snap. Cool. Next up, quick variant talk. We got Ghost, Zabu, Jeff, Killmonger, Mobius, Gladiator, Ms. Marvel, and Sera, an 8-hip deck, along with the, oh my god, the name's not going to come to me right now. Jacinto, Shang-Chi, and Enchantress, so this is a nice deck that has a lot of variants that go together, which always makes me really, really happy. All right, check the Patreon real quick. The $1 tier gives you tournament access. Just so you know, again, that is just for overhead. So check that out. Everyone should be joining this tournament. How many chances, how many games do you have a chance to play against like some of the biggest content creators, to play friends? One game of Conquest a week is not a big ask. You never know if you'll win. Let's see how it goes. $5 tier, it comes with early access to video, content suggestions, complete post archive, podcast guest questions, deck doctor, and priority answers. And the $10 tier is amazing value. You get like 4 extra videos a week from me. You get 1 huge exclusive monthly podcast. You get written exclusive content. I do the top 10 decks of the week from these videos on the Patreon. You get an exclusive monthly giveaway. You get mailbag question and answers, end of daily video shoutouts, and so much more. Please check it out, patreon.com/snapjudgments. I don't think you'll regret it. You can check the comments and find some Patreons talking about that in any video. Next up, we have Safety's Hammer Time. This has 72% win rate. This is the one from the thumbnail. In 43 battles and Infinity Conquest. That's an absolutely huge number. That is an absolute ton of wins. And I got to get to work, so we're going to go through this quickly. You basically have the same package as last deck, where you're trying to take points off the board with Shadow King, Shang, and Enchantress, and using Ms. Marvel for your points, but instead you're running the Thors as a package. I think that's ultimately where the Thors are settling in. They are a 3 to 4 card package with Thor, Beta Ray Bill, and Jane. Sometimes Wasp and Lockjaw sneak in there too. Oh, it's doing that thing where the Google slide hates me again. That's always fun when I'm on a time limit. All right, this Google slide has decided it doesn't hate me anymore, so let's go back to the actual show. Maybe eventually we'll go back to the actual show. Yeah, Google Slides is definitely super annoyed at me. All right, there we go. Okay. So this is built for the Beta Ray build package. Zabu is needed. Jeff can be, you guessed it, Lizard or Medusa. Mobius can be Quake. It can now also be Ghost. Ms. Marvel is important here, but less important than the other deck because you have other power sources. So she can be Super Skrull just fine here. Super Skrull's real good right now. Okay, so safety is a genius. 72% in 43 Infinity Battles is a huge, huge win rate. That means it's getting to almost the fourth game on frickin' average, which is just huge, It's dominating Infinity Conquest. This has gotten multiple Infinity boards. It's one of the best Infinity Conquest decks. Turn 1 pass, turn 2 Zabu is better than Jeff, is better than Scarlet Witch, and you'd never Shadow King on 2. Turn 3, Thor over Mobius is more or less equal to Killmonger. Turn 4, Beta Ray over Ms. Marvel, which is more or less equal to Thor. If you have Jane, then obviously Thor goes up the queue. And those are better than Killmonger or Mobius. Then Jane, if you have any hammer to get. If not, Ms. Marvel or Zabu in a 3. Zabu in a 3 is preferable usually to Ms. Marvel there. And turn 6 is control cards and hammers as you can. All right. We're not going to variant talk. Let's keep going. Our weekend mission decks, we have 2 Scar, 2 Beta Ray Bill, and 1 for both. All right. So we got to highlight Gunny T's Big Dumb Idiots because it's still dominating. Gunny T did amazing with this deck. He's also one of the founders and the brains behind the tournament. You saw this weekend on both Regis Kilbin and Dexter's videos. We covered it 3 weeks ago. The big guys get it later. That's what you get on this channel. You get the best decks as fast as humanly possible. This deck is all about playing Big Dumb Idiots, hence the name. The idea is to get a 10 out on 4, which is Warpath or Atuma. Then you play Ronin, and then you have a 2 cost Scar at the end of the game. So you can go Scar, Maximus, and Quake, and that's just real hard to beat. Or Scar, Maximus, and Armor, as the case may be. And good luck to your opponent when you're jamming that amount of power down. You also have both Destroyer and Blob packages, which are extremely strong and can just kill a lane at the end of the game. Next up, we have the standard Thanos Lockjaw. This is from our friend King Venom, wonderful streamer. King Venom has this Thanos Lockjaw that's purpose is basically to play cards into Lockjaw. The other big pattern here is you can Psylocke on either Psylocke or Timestone on either 3 or 4. If you're doing it on 3, you can see you're getting Blue Marvel, Devil Dinosaur, or Vision. If you do it on 4, you're getting Double 6. And if you do it on 4 and you get Blob, Thanos, or Magneto, you can then play Devil Dino and get your Scar down to 2, and then you have explosive end turn games as well with that. So that's how you want to play this one. It remains a really powerful deck. Everyone stopped playing it when Blob was nerfed, but they probably shouldn't have. Next up, I found this deck and climbed about 5,000 ranks with it. I have no idea who made it. It basically says, but what if Darkhawk in the Thor's package, and then, but why not Lockjaw? Because, like, I've seen a lot of versions of this deck around. My friend and yours, Fazer Snap, built a version of this that didn't have Lockjaw. I think Lockjaw is like the secret sauce here, because just, like, you don't need Korg or Rock Slide to stay on the board, right? They do their thing, and then cycling into another card is really strong. Or cycling into them is actually really strong because now you didn't pay for that extra ability you're getting. So Lockjaw here is absolutely brilliant and pulls this deck together. This is one of the strongest and most interesting decks in the game right now, and I think more people need to play it. If anyone knows who built it, please do let me know in the comments. This will get its own feature soon, but I did not want to leave you hanging for weekend mission decks. This is Shuri Enjoyer's version of the deck. It is running the Annihilus package along with a bounce package with no bounce cards, right? It's got Yellow Jacket, Hood, Spider-Ham, and Nico to move around that werewolf. It's got Yellow Jacket and the hammers can be pulled by Jane. And then it's got the 3-card Annihilus Sentry package, excuse me. Sorry about that. It's got the 3-card Annihilus Sentry package. So it's just got a lot of different interesting and powerful cards for you to try out in combination. It wins an awful lot. This is, again, going to get a big feature early next week. Shuri Enjoyer is the number 4 player in the world as of this morning with me waking up when I checked, which means that this deck is competing at the very top of ladder and is worth talking more about. Finally, we have Zal Snap's deck. Some people have struggled with this. Some people have won Infinite Conquest with it, so it is obviously a high variance deck depending on the player and player archetype. But this one combines the Thor's package with the Scar package in a Thanos shell, which is basically to say, and like you can still play around with several of the cards. The 1-drops and Infinite in particular here are variable cards, but your basic gist here is you want to use the zeros with Lockjaw to get extra value. Sorry, my family is awake now. So you want to use the zeros with Lockjaw to get extra value. We're going to finish up with Royce Townsend Galactus. Royce's Galactus has won 68% of its games post-Infinite. It's really powerful. It is basically going to say I can win by either cheating out Galactus with X23 or Wave, or I can win just by using cards like Carnage, Venom, and Bucky, along with the power of Wave, along with the power of Cheap Death to get priority. And if I get priority, I can Goliath your face, and then I win. X23 is needed, Nico is great, but any card along the lines of Yondu or Strong Card is fine, and Galactus and Goliath are both needed cards. So this has a 68% win rate. Turn 1, you X23. Turn 2, Wolverine over Bucky. Turn 3 is almost always Eat. You can wave into Galactus if you have both Death and Goliath in hand, otherwise I wouldn't. Turn 4, Wave or Eat again, and that will give you extra energy if you're eating X23 for either Galactus or Death. If you're playing Death, your goal is to get priority for Goliath, and if you played Galactus, your goal is to have priority, and you have X23 and Wolverine to help for, you guessed it, Goliath. This is an awesome deck, and Royce Townsend has a brilliant way of playing it. I urge you to try it out. This is, in my personal opinion, the most consistent Galactus deck in the game, and it gives you an excuse if you just got Galactus or you have this amazing comic book cover variant like I do to play it. All right, quick shop look. I didn't like the panda art. They felt dark. I did get that 0-1 at the end. The rest are just totally not for me. I like the Shuri Black Panther a lot, but I already have a Shuri Black Panther, and I just don't need to. I keep almost buying this Mystique. I didn't. We have these Thors that are really great. Sorry, I almost bought the Thor, the Max Greek Thor that's in the shop. I like it. I think it looks really cool. There's a comic bookiness to it that I really enjoy. But I have 3 other Thors and the frog one you saw throughout the video, so we didn't go there. All right. Thanks to our patrons, Models, Pretty Chill, Father Newman, Inc., No Flex, Mandatory Burnout, Matt Conduit 23, Good Dog Gamer, Carrot Lee, Mikey Hijinks, TG Winfield, Cables, Rob Silverman, Matt H., Abigail Giesland, Direwolf, Ocularis, X-Force V, Jay Neverite, Spike Jones, Koi Ray, Louis Antonez, Jane McDonlino, and the homie Min. Father Newman is like less than 50 from hitting 1,000, which means monetization. Help our friend and fellow teacher out. That's it. We're done. I got to get to work. I appreciate you. This is going live like now. Peace. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if I rushed, talked fast. Love ya. Bye. Peace.